right, we're back after a little bit of a layoff. Life got a little bit busy there for me. I was doing a lot of filling in for Perk and Schwartz, who have a lot more vacation than I do. They've earned it. They've been there longer. It's still not quite fair, but whatever, I'll take it. Also, our golf tournament, my dad's charity golf tournament, went off last week. Jim's group actually won the whole thing in the afternoon. No thanks to him. I heard a rumor they didn't actually use any of his shots in that afternoon, but raised a lot of money for cancer research, so that's always a good thing. Back today with Jordan Taylor as our guest host. Carson Shanks, former Prior Lake star, went to the Final Four with Loyola, is our guest today. His nickname is Big Fudge, so we're going to get to the bottom of how that came to be. First off, though, Jordan, got to go on the golf course. I did last week. Wasn't pretty, but it was fun.
Never is.
You've never golfed? Have you golfed with me before? Did we golf back in the day? I think we probably did.
I feel like we have. I've known you since what? Since we were like 10?
Yeah. You probably golfed with me.
You know what? That would be an ugly day on the golf course.
Oh, man. I don't have the temperament to golf. I get angry quickly, and I lose interest quickly, which are two things you can't do when you golf.
You definitely got a little Barkley in you, too. I know you got a little Barkley.
Just the way I act, or just my golf game?
From basketball to act to golf game, you got a lot. Yeah, you got.
My swing is better than Barkley's swing, though. I've seen some videos of him on the golf course, and it's awful.
I can't speak on that, but hey, I still love you though, man.
I appreciate that. Man. Can you golf?
I can't golf either, so I'm sitting here talking.
You've been out to the charity tournament.
I have. It's a wonderful event, and congratulations to you guys on that. Also,
they raised more than $300,000 just on the golf event this year, which
amazing.
Is big time. We're going to pull up close to $1 million when the whole year is total.
On that note, I want to give a shout out to Andy and Susan North. I went to their golf event, Andy North and Friends, which they've held for 10 years consecutively. It's actually on the same day as your dad's. Yep, but hey, no competition. It's all for the right reasons, and
100%.
They did a great job, and it was fun to go to that. So that was my experience on the golf course. So they raised money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. So
good stuff. Do you know what was also fun? Was watching LeBron James get swept in the NBA Finals.
What?
Yeah, that was fun. For me, as a avid LeBron hater, it was I could not have enjoyed the beatdown the Warriors put on him anymore.
So you just like watching mismatches, like you've always been that.
Oh, come on. No, I was a Detroit Pistons fan back in the day when they had nobody. And they won the whole championship. Remember that? I used to show up in a Ben Wallace jersey every single day to school. They were
the original well-rounded team of our era.
Hey, I'll give you that.
But you did love Ben Wallace. I'll give you that. But
very much
I don't understand how you could be a LeBron hater. I actually feel bad for people who are LeBron haters.
Why is that?
Because there's no MJ haters. That's what gets lost in this whole debate.
He's the best.
There's no MJ haters. Mm-hmm. There's LeBron fans and MJ fans. So LeBron haters are they're lost in the world to me.
I guess, and this is going to sound crazy, but I guess I just think LeBron James is kind of overrated. It's a crazy thing to say out loud. But everybody always compares him to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, and I just don't even think he's there. I don't think he's on the same level.
At same level as who? As Kobe Bryant?
Or Michael. I think they're both better than him.
Listen.
I think the Michael Jordan argument between who's greater between LeBron and Michael Jordan, that's not even an argument. I feel like it's hands down Michael Jordan, and if you tell me it's LeBron James, I'm going to slap you in the face because you're dead wrong.
Listen. As a basketball player, in my opinion,
okay. I mean, you do.
LeBron
James have some more basketball skills than I do.
Please don't smack me in the face. But LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. Here's why I think he's better. I think LeBron is essentially better in every facet of the game. His mid-range game, I don't think is better. You can nitpick obviously offensive things. I don't think that he's necessarily a much better defender. But when I say better, I think defensively it's a wash. But when you're talking about who's a better basketball player, I think it's LeBron. Now, if you're talking about legacy and you're talking about who's had a greater career, and I mean, Michael Jordan, his career was 6 a movie, man. It was him and guys like Derek Jeter are in the same conversation. They have, you walk off on a make and your last shot is a bull, and you got Bob Costas with, is this the last shot we'll ever see? Mike, that type of stuff. Jeter walks off with the game-winning hit at Yankee Stadium. That type of stuff is movie-esque. But if you're in a basketball gym and you're watching LeBron James and Michael Jordan play, and you just walk in there and you take out the rings and you just watch him play, take out the legacy, how do you say Michael's better?
You're talking about one-on-one basketball.
No, I'm talking about
in a team setting.
Team setting, yeah.
Okay, what you just touched on. Okay,
let
me just go back on what you just touched on. Okay, Michael Jordan is the superior defender. He led the NBA in steals 3 different times in his career. How many times has LeBron led the NBA in steals? None. Jordan was like a 9-time first-team NBA all-defensive player. How many times has LeBron been first-team all-defense? MJ won Defensive Player of the Year 1 time. So if you're talking overall player, I mean, MJ gets the nod when it comes to defense. Right. Also, MJ is the greatest scorer of all time. He leads the NBA during the season in scoring. LeBron doesn't. And if you're talking about overall statistics, LeBron averages about 2 more rebounds and 2 more assists per game. But Jordan, when it comes to the NBA Finals, he never once got swept. And people argue all the time, oh, LeBron doesn't have this, he doesn't have that around him. Jordan had Scottie Pippen. Okay, well, Kevin Love is an all-star caliber player. And if you really are the best player in the world, shouldn't you be lifting up guys like J.R. Smith and Rodney Hood? Because Michael Jordan, he won championships with Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman, but he also got it done with guys like Horace Grant and B.J. Armstrong. And those aren't big-name guys.
But Scottie Pippen was always there, and you can't compare LeBron, that. It's a different era. Let's go back. Let's start at the top.
Jordan, just real quick.
Let's start at the top. Hold on. I'll let you finish, but let's start at the top with your steals argument. Okay. Has Ricky Rubio led the league in steals ever in his career? Has Allen Iverson ever led the league in steals?
Okay.
Have they?
What does that prove?
That's not a very good talking point on who's a better defender. If you want to talk about accolades, is Draymond Green a better defender than LeBron James? Be honest.
Yes.
Oh, good Lord. You think Draymond Green is a better defender? Is Kevin Durant a better defender than LeBron James?
No.
He was second in the league in blocks this year. So those type of arguments are, okay, I understand where you're coming from, and I'm not saying Michael Jordan wasn't a great defender.
Great defender.
What I'm saying is LeBron, I think I'll put it this way. Take away the accolades and all that. Okay. Michael Jordan is a better on-ball defender. LeBron is a better weak side defender. Okay. So I don't think that you could sit here and say, oh, well, hands down, Michael Jordan's better because he won Defensive Player of the Year. That's great. Accolades are great. There's a lot of guys. Damian Lillard was first-team All-NBA this year. There's a lot of guys who he's not better than that will be
100% agree with that.
So that the accolades thing
can't take away all the scoring titles that he won, though.
Can't take away all the scoring titles. LeBron is hands down to me the best passer that you will ever see in NBA history.
I agree with that 100%.
So Jordan, that's his primary skill. Okay. Michael Jordan's primary skill is scoring. Yep. Which he averages 30 a game.
Yep.
So that's LeBron's secondary skill. Okay. And he's not far off of Michael Jordan with his secondary skill.
Fair enough. Now, everybody argues, though, about LeBron. He's carried his teams, 8 straight NBA finals. But when it comes down to getting it done, he's needed guys around him to win those titles. Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, those are big-name guys around him. So to hate on Michael for getting it done with Scottie Pippen.
Who was hating on him?
No, but the argument about how LeBron is better, people are saying, he had Scottie Pippen. And that's not fair. Michael Jordan had Scottie Pippen. But when LeBron won, he had Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and Kyrie Irving. And 2 of those titles, thank God for Ray Allen, thank God for Kyrie, because you're not getting those championships without either one of those guys.
Those are, once again, I don't like those. Thank God for John Paxson. Thank God for Steve Kerr. Like, everybody, nobody wins without great players around them.
But those crucial moments of the game, those weren't LeBron. It was Kyrie taking over, and it was Ray Allen's big shot.
The crucial moments of the game in the finals for Jordan, it was John Paxson, it was Steve Kerr. Jordan obviously hit one against Utah, and he made plays like both of them have made crucial plays in the NBA Finals. If LeBron doesn't chase down Iguodala, they don't get a chance. The game is probably over. No one scored for 3 minutes. So if you want to sit here and go tit for tat on crucial plays, I don't like getting into that. I like breaking down their actual games and their skill sets. And I just think at 6'8", 260, you'll never see another player in NBA history like LeBron James. Now, will you ever see someone who's going to accomplish what Michael Jordan has accomplished? Then
Bill Russell's won more titles than him.
I'm just talking about the legacy and the way he did it, and that's why we love Michael Jordan, because it's the last second shots.
LeBron's a better competitor, Michael's a better competitor.
Why?
He's got it done more. He got it done when it counts.
You don't think
Michael Jordan would never have gotten swept in the finals?
You don't think these Bulls teams would have beat these Warriors teams of the last 2 years, do you?
It would have been close, I feel like.
Oh, Michael Jordan shot 40% from the field, took 100 more shots than all his teammates, and they averaged 90 points a game against the Jazz. If LeBron shot 40% from the field in a finals, whether they won or lost, they'd be like, oh, my God, what LeBron, he's just a ball. He's doing this, he's doing that. What did LeBron do when they lost in 6 games to the Warriors? The first time, without Kyrie, without Kevin Love, he shot about 40%. He averaged about 40 points a game and a triple-double. And people killed him. He wasn't efficient. He wasn't that. So when LeBron does what Jordan has done and they lose because his teams are inefficient and inferior, he gets ripped apart from it. Now, I'm not gonna rip.
This debate is never gonna be settled.
No,
there are 100% great points on each side. I respect your opinion. And honestly, you know more about basketball than I do. So maybe you're right. Maybe I am. Who knows? The world is never gonna know until it's all said and done because LeBron's still playing.
LeBron's still playing. I just want to make one more point.
Last point.
How many times has Michael Jordan been an underdog in the finals? None. But how many times has Michael Jordan when he was an underdog in the playoffs?
Well,
Pistons.
Once?
Celtics. Maybe once. So how many times has LeBron's teams been inferior in the finals?
A lot.
Every time they lost except one.
Yeah.
The Maverick series kills LeBron's legacy.
But
losing to the Warriors, this team, 3 times with the teams that they had, only one time they were fully healthy. That's not a knock on someone's legacy. But the way I put it is Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. LeBron is the best player of all time.
All right, we'll leave it right there. LeBron's future. Is he coming to the Timberwolves or not? Where's this going to go? There's no chance, right? He's going to Houston.
I don't know if he's going to Houston. You know what? I don't have a clue.
He'd be stupid not to go to Houston. Why would he not go to Houston? That's a team that can win. That could have won a championship this year if Chris Paul doesn't get hurt.
I feel like people know me. I'm very opinionated, and I normally will stick to my guns with one thing. But I just feel like there's a. I feel like there's a lot of moving pieces still in the NBA. Like if you look at the rosters as they stand today, Houston is the obvious choice. I think the Cavs have maneuverability that is not so transparent on paper right now. I think I think JR has maybe. He has $14 million due next year.
He's a bum, by the way. He doesn't belong as a starter in the NBA. J.R. Smith is a bum.
He had a very bad year. He was injured last year. The 2 years before in Cleveland, he was good. But I think they have maneuverability with, J.R. has 14, but I think $14 million coming, but only like three guaranteed, and George Hill has 19, but only one of it's completely guaranteed, and then Korver is the same way as J.R. And so I think if Kobe Altman can make moves and maybe LeBron can convince Paul George to come to Cleveland or DeAndre Jordan. I mean, I just feel like it's not as simple as people are making it at this point.
All I know is this, and this is probably an unpopular opinion, but if LeBron and Paul George end up going to the Lakers together, the Wolves aren't making the playoffs next year. That's what I think. I think it shifts the entire balance in the Western Conference, and the Wolves don't make the playoffs next year.
Wow.
Because I don't think guys are going to want to come here as a free agent after what Jamal Crawford is probably telling everybody else. Like, hey, this is not a good situation. Cat's unhappy. Crawford was unhappy. And these are guys that aren't exactly hard to please guys if you know how to coach them right. I don't think Tibbs makes the Timberwolves an attractive destination.
I would 100% agree with that. I mean, from an outside perspective, I would 100% agree with that. And, I don't know if they don't make the playoffs. I think they still make the playoffs with the roster they have. Well, I mean, they were a 3-4 seed until
what about
Jimmy
the Nuggets? They're going to get better.
The Nuggets are going to get better, but the Timberwolves are going to get better. So it's going to be it'll be interesting. Where DeMarcus Cousins goes is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously the Pelicans are good. The Blazers, I don't know.
They'll go back there again next year.
I mean, you could be right. It'll be. I mean, will the Thunder make the playoffs if Paul George goes to
Westbrook
LA?
will just end up averaging 35 a game.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the West is, I'm not a fan of the whole. I don't subscribe to the West is way better than the East.
The Clippers could make the playoffs next year.
Nah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Tobias Harris is a very good player. I think a very underrated player.
Yeah, very underrated.
But I don't subscribe to the whole argument that the West is way better than the East right now. If LeBron goes West, then obviously that's a done deal. But
one last NBA thing.